how do you like maintain a current identity when you are kind of constantly being haunted of Charli's past? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, again, I feel like this must be similar with you. It's like, I know that I have some really hardcore fans who have been with me through every kind of iteration of my career and understand my growth. And then I have some fans who are like, oh, I love Charli because she made Boom Clap. And like, that's, you know, that's like their favorite song. And that's probably like my peak in their mind and what they associate me with. Maybe like you have fans who are like, oh, I love Emma when she was making these videos when she was 16 and I don't really get her now.
Yes.
Or whatever.
Absolutely.
You know, and I feel like every person kind of has that. And, you know, there's different levels of fandom as well. There are the fans who are going to like ride or die for you. And, you know, if you decide to like do something completely, totally different than what you're working on right now, they'll still like stick with you and follow with you because they love you and all of the kind of facets of your personality. Whereas there are other fans who just, and this is no bad thing, but they just like this kind of gravitate to one particular thing that you do.
Totally.
And so I kind of, it's cool. Like, I'm at peace with it because I like that people like different aspects of my work.
Yes.
And, you know, you kind of have to celebrate that. And I think I'm always pretty like, I'll always like try and, well, sometimes I'm not sure if this is a good thing. I kind of always try and like play to my audience. Like if I'm doing a more mainstream festival, I'll be like, oh, I'll throw Boom Clap in. But if I'm like playing my headline show, like I'm not going to play Boom Clap.
Yeah.
Although I have in the past, but you know.
Yeah, but also I do think, well, that's actually, I did have that question written down, was like maybe less about, you know, like the set list specifically, but more like when you're creating something new, who are you making it for? Because and why are you making it?
For me, I make it for me, definitely.
It's good.
Yeah, and especially with this record, it's been very like instinctual. I've just been like not really thinking about the consequence or the outside world, or even when I was making it, how it was going to be performed or anything like that.
Interesting. Yeah.
I think I always think about how it's going to be presented visually because that goes very hand in hand with my music making process.
Yep.
But yeah, really just made music that I would want to hear in a club, basically.
Yeah. When it comes to the visual, like the visual relationship, what's sort of what's the process of that? Like, when do you start to imagine like what the visual identity is of a project? Does that just kind of come almost like sort of like a universe sense sort of like vision, or like is it something that like what comes first? Or do you have like an idea? Sometimes you're like, maybe you can see in your brain like the Pinterest board of it and you're and then you're like, oh, this is sort of how I want to make the music. What comes first?
But it's both, and it's very chicken egg situation. It's like with this record, I wrote a couple of songs, some which have ended up on the record, others which got discarded. But I think after having like 3 or 4 songs that were like, okay, these are going to be on the record, I was like, oh, the title is Brat. And the world is very brutalist, and it's like this girl who like goes to a rave and she's wearing a tank top and you can kind of see her nipples through it. And she's like sweaty, but she's hot. She's like dancing with her friends. And, you know, I was just piecing this all together. And then that allowed me to go on and write more songs under this kind of guise of like, I know what this girl wants.
Yes.
You know, and that girl is me. But like, you know, I was kind of, does that make sense?
I completely know what you mean.
Yeah. So it's kind of both.